So Nathan, can you explain to me what we're doing right now?
We're going to the Mason, get out of the road. We are walking to the last devotional.
Actually, no, a couple left.
And just...
Actually, Sunday is the last.
Oh, yeah. That's service, though. This is a devotional.
Oh, yeah.
Every day.
Oh, my goodness. 30 more cars. So glad to have on video. I don't know.
Yeah. I want to get hit by a wave on a road.
It is always a tremendous honor and humbling experience to be involved in this event. I would like to express my appreciation to the organizers for the invitation to be a part. And I'd like to also just try to say a word of thanks to all the people who say kind things to me, like Dale just said, John David whispered. Being married for 28 years and being in ministry for 33 years makes a fellow feel kind of old. My wife picks out my outfits for me. You need to wear the bluish pants and your gray sweater on Saturday. And baby, John David won't even tuck his shirt in. She said, if you look like John David, you should dress like John.
So Nathan.
Hey, dude, what's up?
What do you think about this place? Oh, you're talking on the phone. That's awkward.
Hey, where are you?
That's really awkward. I don't know what he's doing. Blake.
You're what? Oh.
Ollie?
Yeah, we left early because we have reservations at Mellow Mushrooms. You guys should come. It's not too packed. I don't think so. It doesn't really... It may be starting to get packed, I don't know. What? We're staying... Hey, what hotel are we staying in?
The Best Western stuff.
Best Western? Yeah. I don't know where that is.
So, Nathan. What do you think about this place right here?
What place?
This place.
It's really good. In fact, it is some of the best pizza I've ever had in my entire life.
That's good. Good.
He jumped out here and he swung and he said, stop it! But just put your feet if you live. My Father will give the angels. And they bound, they tie him up. And they leave him one. Your heart's hammering in your chest. You're holding that sword. You're thinking, well, I proved I died for you. I proved it. And they walk away. You're standing there. So you follow them. John chapter 18, verse 15. And Peter followed Jesus and saw to another disciple. Now that disciple was known to the high priest. And he went with Jesus into the courtyard of the high priest. Peter stood at the door outside. The other disciple, who was known to the high priest, went out and spoke to the girl who kept the door, and they brought Peter in. Then the servant girl who kept the door said to Peter, you are not also one of this man's disciples, are you? And Peter said, I am not. And the servants and the officers who had made a fire of coals stood there, for it was cold, and they warmed themselves, and Peter stood with them and warmed himself also. Verse 25. Now Peter stood and warmed himself. Therefore they said to him, you are not also one of his disciples, are you? And he denied it and said, I am not. And one of the servants of the high priest, a relative of whom ear Peter had cut off, said, did I not see with him in the garden? And Peter denied it again, and immediately the rooster crowed. And you've got Peter standing here. He's close enough to the courtyard, he can see what's going on. He's warming himself by a fire. And somebody says, hey, don't you know? Hey, didn't I see them and know? Hey, my cousin works with... No! I don't know the man. I'm not sure that I can explain this, and I'm not trying to make excuses for I do this illustration. I've only done it 3 times, and I'm not going to do it here. This is not the perfect setting for it. But if I'm at a youth rally or at a camp, what I like to do is bring a young man up on stage. I did this with Kevin Darby. I think I did it with Coach G. You know this guy? I know that guy. And he's your master, not my master. See, Peter's world has been inverted. He's seen the man of power. And now he sees what appears to be the powerless man. Luke chapter 22. Verse 54. Having arrested him, they led him and brought him into the high priest's house. Peter followed at a distance, and they kindled a fire in the courtyard in the midst, and sat down together, and people among them, and a certain servant girl, seeing him, sat down by the fire, and looked intently at him, and said, This man was also with him. And Peter denied him, saying, Woman, I do not know him. And after a little while, another saw him and said, You also are one of them. But Peter said, Man, I am not. And then after about an hour had passed, and during this hour you've got the trial and the beating and the stuff going on. After an hour had passed, another confidently affirmed and said, Surely this fellow was with him, for he's a Galilean. And Peter said, Man, I do not know what you are saying. And immediately the rooster crowed. And the Lord turned and looked at Peter. Peter remembered the word of the Lord, how he said to him, Before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. Folks, unrecoverable, flat spin, crash and burn. He stands here in the garden with his chest, his heart thumping out of his chest, gripping the sword, and he's humiliating himself. He couldn't even hurt anybody. He just cut a kid's ear off. Jesus fixes his ass. They drag him off. They tie him up. Jesus stands there powerless while their open hands slapping him and saying, Don't you know I know him? Isn't this your master? He's not my master. Hey, Mark, no, I don't know him. The rooster begins to crow, and Jesus, with his hands tied and his face red and slapped, just looks at Peter. How do you get past that? How do you recover it? John 21. For the sake of time, there's a lot of John 21 I talk about this, but this is Jesus appears to the disciples, and he helps them catch fish. They come to the shore, and after they're eating breakfast, they walk down the beach, and it's Peter and Jesus and John following. John 21:15. So when they'd eaten breakfast, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonah, do you love me more than these? Now, I don't know if he means, do you love me more than these guys love me? Or do you love me more than these things, these fish and these people? The first time they meet is in Luke, and he catches the miraculous catch of fish. He leads the fish to follow Jesus. I don't know what he's talking about. Do you love me more than these guys love me? Or do you love me more than you love these things? I just resurrected, you're out here fishing. Peter, do you love me more than these? And he said, Yes, Lord, you know I love you. He said, Feed the sheep. And he said to him a second time, Simon, son of Jonah, do you love me? He said to him, Yes, Lord, you know that I love you. He said, Tend my sheep. And he said to him the third time, Simon, son of Jonah, do you love me? And he was grieved because he said to him the third time, do you love me? And he said to him, Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you. And Jesus said to him, Feed my sheep. Most assuredly I say to you that when you were younger, you girded yourself and you walked where you wished. And when you were old, you will stretch out your hands and another will guide and gird you and carry you where you do not wish to go. This he spoke, signifying by what death he would glorify God. And when he had spoken these words, he said to him, Follow me. We call this the reinstatement of Peter. If you do the math, I don't know him, I don't know him, I don't know him. Peter, do you love me? Peter, do you love me? Peter, do you love me?
Yes, I will. Oh, Jerry back there?
Okay, I'm putting this on that. I'm going on a business trip with that bag.
Well, hey. The guy gave me